What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for MLB Tuesday, June 1st.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon.
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top DFS picks for today's MLB slate.
And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
Okay guys, we have a 14 game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. I like Aaron Nola pitching against the Cincinnati Reds. Aaron Nola is only giving up a .569 OPS versus righties, and he's facing 6 righties here tonight. On top of that, the Reds have only hit 6 of his last 45 pitches. That's a 133 batting average and a pretty big sample size. Aaron Nola is 10,100 FanDuel salary, and he's 100 more on DraftKings. Projected at 41.2 fantasy points here tonight. He has an ERA of 3.72. His record is 3-4 on the season, pitching an average of 93 pitches per game, averaging 35 fantasy points per game, and he scored 37, 30, and 39 fantasy points in the last 3 games. And Vegas thinks this is going to be a low-scoring game. Only 7.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So I like Aaron Nola here versus the Cincinnati Reds. And I also like Chris Bassitt. He's in a pretty good spot here versus the Seattle Mariners. You can save a little bit of salary with Chris Bassitt, but I definitely prefer Aaron Nola. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. I like Buster Posey with a 43% batting advantage over Andrew Heaney. Buster Posey is batting 39% better versus lefty pitchers, and Buster Posey is batting a 1.394 OPS versus lefties, so he's got a pretty high OPS versus lefty pitchers, and Andrew Heaney is giving up a .737 OPS versus righties. Now, Buster Posey is 0 for 2 versus Heaney, but it's a small sample size, and he's got good splits. He is 3,400 FanDuel salary and 900 more on DraftKings. Projected at 8.6 fantasy points here tonight. I think you can bump that projection up to at least 10, and he's averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 3, 12, and 29 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Buster Posey here versus Andrew Heaney.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Now guys, just as a quick note, we just released a free DFS contest on Draft Dashboard for MLB and NBA for DraftKings and FanDuel. There's over $500 available in the prize pool, and this is a totally free contest you can enter as a Draft Dashboard member. So make sure to click the link in the description of this video, give Draft Dashboard a try, and you can start playing in our free DFS contest and compete to win some money. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. I like Alberto Mondesi batting against a low salary pitcher, Will Crowe. Alberto Mondesi, he's batting a .833 OPS versus righties, and Will Crowe is giving up a .989 OPS versus switch hitters. So they're not the most favorable splits here, but I think the OPSs are both pretty good, and Mondesi is only 3,200 FanDuel salary, and he's 300 more on DraftKings. So I like that price on both sites. He's projected at 10.7 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 25, 0, and 31 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Alberto Mondesi here versus Will Crow. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. I like Rafael Devers with an 89% batting advantage over Luis Garcia. Rafael Devers is batting 26% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .950 OPS versus righties. And Luis Garcia throws his worst ball by far to lefty batters, 63% worse than his other pitches, giving up a 1.019 OPS versus lefties. So there's no at-bats versus Garcia yet, and Rafael Devers is 3,800 FanDuel salary and 1,300 more on DraftKings. Projected at 10.7 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 0 and 21 fantasy points in the last 2 games. So I like Rafael Devers here versus Luis Garcia. Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. I'm going to give you a value play here. I like Willie Adames with a 58% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Matthew Boyd. Willie Adames is batting 19% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .873 OPS versus lefties. And Matthew Boyd throws 39% worse to righties as he does lefties, giving up a .789 OPS versus righties. Now, Willie Adames is only 1 for 6, batting 167 batting average and a .334 OPS versus Boyd. So he's not off to a great start, but it's a somewhat small sample size, only 6 at-bats. But I like this pick because Willie Adames is 2,300 FanDuel salary and he's 1,800 more on DraftKings. Projected at 9.1 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 22 and 6 fantasy points in the last 2 games. So I like Willie Adames here versus Matthew Boyd.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, moving on to the outfield position. I got a couple of outfielders for you. I like Austin Meadows with a 41% batting advantage over Domingo Germán. Austin Meadows is batting 46% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .877 OPS versus righties. And Domingo Germán, he's giving up a .656 OPS versus lefties. Now I like this pick because Austin Meadows is 4 for 8, batting .500 with a 2.306 OPS versus Germán, and 3 of those 4 hits are for home runs, and the other one is a double. So there might be something there to this batter versus pitcher matchup. Austin Meadows is 4,100 FanDuel salary. He's 1,100 more on DraftKings. Projected at 10.6 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 22, 18, and 32 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So he's been on fire. So I like Austin Meadows here versus Domingo Germán. Okay, another outfielder that I like is Jesse Winker with a 47% batting advantage over Aaron Nola. Now, if you're playing Aaron Nola as your pitcher, don't recommend this play, but if you're going to go with Chris Bassitt or another pitcher, I think Jesse Winker has a pretty good shot tonight. Jesse Winker is batting 24% better versus righty pitchers, batting a 1.028 OPS versus righties. And Aaron Nola, he's giving up a .746 OPS versus lefties, pitching 24% worse to lefties than his other pitches. So he pitches his worst ball versus lefty batters. And Jesse Winker is 2 for 6, batting a .333 batting average and a .762 OPS versus Nola. He's $3,900 FanDuel salary, and he's only $600 more on DraftKings. So I like that DraftKings price. He's projected at 11.7 fantasy points here tonight. He's averaging 14 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored 12 and 9 fantasy points in the last 2 games. So I like Jesse Winker here versus Aaron Nola.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.